Have to be honest, I thought I'd see a little bit more offense out of both of these teams, and we got a defensive battle going here in the first quarter.
It never fails, does it, Brian? We think one way and it goes the opposite.
Trips to the left, Wink back to throw on third down. Looks left side over the middle. It's going to be incomplete, almost picked off as Victor Skoog again active in the defensive backfield.
And I'll tell you what, Marion Harding's not afraid to throw the ball down the middle of the field. That's twice they've done this, throwing it right down the middle of the field, looking for the home run ball.
Trying to hit Kyrie Scott. It's going to be fourth down, and this is kind of no man's land here. It's really long for a field goal, so it looks like they may go for it here on fourth down.
With the offense they have and the weapons that they have, it's a no-brainer.
Fourth and 10, the Presidents look to convert. Firing down the far sideline, it's going to be what?
Touchdown.
Looks like a touchdown as it was a shared possession, but the receiver was able to rip the ball away, and that was Wesley Stokes, his 7th touchdown reception of the season.
Wow. Talk about going airborne.
Jordan Hensley on to attempt the extra point. Had to wait there for a second for the official to make the call. The extra point is good. And the Presidents go out on top 7-0, 5:25 to go in the first quarter. He laid it up there into double coverage, and Stokes went up between two defenders and hauled it in.
And we talked about it at pregame. Clear Fork has got to stop the big play, and if they want to win this ballgame, they got to shut that play, the big play down. And on the other hand, we told ourselves Marion Harding is a big play offense, and they just showed it to us right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, and Brady Wink has no fear. He threw the ball into double coverage 3 straight times.
That's what you do when you believe in your receivers. When your receivers are going to make it happen, and you hear about this in the pros a lot. They'll tell you, just throw the ball. I'll go up and get it. And that's what these receivers do. The quarterback throws it, and these receivers go up and get it.
Stokes is a big target, 6'3", 200 pounds. And Brady Wink, 19 touchdown passes on the season. Now he's only thrown 4 picks, which is really surprising when you look at how he has thrown the ball into coverage here in the first quarter.
And Air Jordan, he's throwing that ball all over the place. And I think the last 3 passes have all been over for 30 yards. The ball's in the air over 30 yards on all 3 of his last passes. There's an offsides penalty.
They try to recover, but it's going to be a flag as they are really trying to make something happen as the ball was recovered by Caden Riddle.
Good chance Clear Fork will decline the penalty and take the ball where it's at.
As they do this, we'll take a look at the defensive starters for. We've already looked at the offensive starters for for Clear Fork. There's the defensive starters, led by Rashawn Turner, who leads the MOAC in sacks. Jacob Barr among the league leaders in tackles. And Marquise Adams anchors a very solid secondary with Kyrie Scott. So it's now 7-0, 5:21 to go in the opening quarter. Marion Harding jumps out to an early lead in a kind of a strange first quarter. We had a couple turnovers.
It's that big play. You can. Marion Harding has the type of offense that you can stop them on first down, stop them on second down, you can stop them on third down, but they have the athletes that on that fourth down, they can throw it deep and make something happen, or they got a back that can break it. Clear Fork's going to have to play disciplined defense tonight to hold this team in check.
That 4-game winning streak that Clear Fork has against Marion Harding in the MOAC is in jeopardy here tonight. Marion Harding has come to play.
And we're still in the first quarter. 5:25 to go. The teams are still shaking the dust off of them. We'll see if things start to calm down here for the Colts here in a minute.
Hensley has it teed up.
That's offsides again.
And another flag comes in.
And I'll guarantee you they'll force them to punt again, or kick off again.
This is going to be marched off again against Marion Harding.
And these are the little things that just drive coaches crazy. You work all week on this play, and then somebody jumps offsides. That time it was a different player and went offsides. But the results are the same. They've had 2 penalties for a total of 10 yards already, both on the same drive.
So that means that Clear Fork should have very good field position as they take over.
And the one thing you got to be careful of, Marion Harding, they'll try anything. They tried an onside kick on the first time. Now they had 2 penalties. They're back 10 yards. You got to be ready for anything with this ball club. Another onside kick.
Well, the up men for Clear Fork seem to be ready for that.
That's what you do. You practice all week for this. Practice on the onside recovery team. Now we're on sides.
Hensley punches it all the way back, and it's going to go into the end zone. So after all of that, no return.
Maybe that's why the Harding coaches weren't worried about it. They got a kicker that can kick it out of the end zone. We'll kick it from the 10-yard line and put it out.
5 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And it's been a very exciting first quarter. I've enjoyed it. It's a close game still. This is a time when the Clear Fork offense has got to move the ball a little bit. They got to move the stakes a little bit, get a little confidence in that offense.
We saw Chris Grove in that first drive. They were able to run the football. Dave Carroll in his 13th season as their head coach, 220 career wins.
And he's not done.
He is not done. Grove again trying to bounce off the right side of that line. Gets about 3 yards. Brought down by Kobe Johnson.
But we just want to see this Clear Fork team control the ball and move down the field.
Skoog with the fake, and it's going to be incomplete as they little play action is going to set up a 3rd and long as the pass was overthrown.
You do not want to give Marion Harding the football with a short field. Clear Fork really needs to get a first down here. Really needs 7 yards.
Skoog's going to roll to his left. He's got some room. He pumps. He's going to go for it. He's going to get the first down across the 30 to the 32-yard line before he's tackled by Bradley Pennington. But Skoog, there you see his ability to run the football, and he ends up moving the chains for Clear Fork.
Defensive coaches' nightmares when you can defend everything on the field, but sometimes it's really tough to contain a running quarterback. Great play by the Colts.
Does a little bit of everything for this team. He's having an outstanding season leading this offense. And on that play right there, you saw him get the first down, but you're also seeing here his ability to throw. There's a nice cut and run against Gallion. Back to the ground, and again, another first down as they are not abandoning the run. Luke Schlosser, a sophomore, has a first down as they get up closer to the 45-yard line, and the Colts are not going to go away, especially here at home.
And this is a great drive for them. It really knocks the momentum out of your defense when a team just picks you apart running the ball down the field. And as that defense keeps backing up, you keep looking down saying, what am I doing wrong?
Jacob Arndt made the tackle. They will stay on the ground. And it's Schlosser again, but this time he's held to a couple. That'll set up a 2nd down and 8.
Being an old-time coach who liked to run the football, I really like what Clear Fork's doing right now. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, nickel and diming their way down the field.
They're 2nd in the MOAC in team rushing. And they cannot get out of the backfield there.
Tried a little counter play, but whenever you run a counter, you can't have any penetration. There was just too much penetration. Shut the play down. That's an inside counter. Anytime you hand the ball off in front of the quarterback, inside counter play.
Rashawn Turner in on the stop. A loss of about 5 will set up a 3rd down and 12. First time we've said Rashawn's name tonight, and leads this conference in sacks. There's Scoob going to the right side. It's tipped away at the last second by Marquise Adams.
And that's the agility of some of these defensive backs from Marion Harding. They can trail the play, but they have the speed to catch up and knock the ball down.
Jay Jackson was the intended receiver. It's going to set up a 4th down. And it'll be a punting situation for Clear Fork. So the drive stalls for the Colts at the 43-yard line. Kick just gets off. And the ball down at the 25-yard line, and that's where Marion Harding will set up. A flag is down after the play, and I think there's going to be some yardage tacked on afterward.
Could be a late hit, piling on. Unsportsmanlike.
Ball was recovered at the 25-yard line. It's going to be a personal foul against Clear Fork, so we'll tack on 15 yards. So that'll move the ball up to the 40. 2:18 to go in the first quarter. Marion Harding with a 7-0 lead. Light rain in the forecast, but as of right now, knock on wood, it is not raining.
And when you're down here, it doesn't matter if it does or doesn't because the turf absorbs the water and is always dry. Little controversy with the officials' call there. I think it was a fair catch call. Nobody saw it except the official and the receiver, and he got hit. Can't do that.
2 receivers now to each side as Wink goes back into the shotgun, looks to hand the ball off. That's Malachi Robinson. Gets a couple up to the 42-yard line.
Officials timeout for a little injury. Looks like a Harding lineman is down.
This is the 5th year in the MOAC for Clear Fork. They won the league the first 2 years they were in. Then Shelby won the last 2. And now both Shelby and Clear Fork, if things go according to what most people think, they should head into next week both undefeated in the MOAC and play each other for the conference championship. Now Marion Harding is trying to obviously throw a monkey wrench into that.
And the competition this year in football has really been great around this area. You've got teams that are supposed to win that get upset. You have teams that are, supposed to dominate and blow somebody away, barely winning the game. Good examples, Gallion and Ontario's. I would have thought that would have been a high-scoring game. Ends up being 7-6. The week before that, we had a team that we thought would be a little bit better. East Knox puts over 49 points on the first half. So it's been a season where you don't really know what's going to happen with these ball games, and that's why they play them every Friday night.
West Holmes and Shelby was another matchup a couple of weeks ago that I thought was really going to be a high-scoring affair, and West Holmes really went in and took care of Shelby.
And that was another game. I thought Shelby playing at Shelby would dominate, but look what West Holmes did, and look what they're doing to everybody else.
Here we've got Marion Harding trying to play spoiler as they have a 2nd down and 8 at their own 42-yard line, and they're enjoying a 7-0 lead here with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Presidents looking for win number 6. They won 2 games a year ago. The snap goes over Wink's head, but he corrals it, and then wisely runs out of bounds. And they lost a lot of yardage, but you know what? You live to play another play, and you know with the playmakers they have, they can make that up.
And that was a good move by the quarterback. And I told you earlier, it looked like the snaps were a little bit high, and eventually it catches up with them. And that's a correctable mistake. You just got to get that center relaxing a little bit on that direct snap. But you're right. Wink did a nice job. Just took the ball, got what he could. No collisions, run out of bounds, lived to throw the ball deep again.
Now the center for Marion Harding is a sophomore, so there might be some chemistry issues between him and the quarterback. Ball thrown over the middle, and it's incomplete, looking for Brennan Beecham.
And again, Marion Harding is not afraid to go deep, Brian. I mean, I don't think they've thrown but maybe one short pass under 10 yards. Everything else has been 30-plus yards in the air down the field.
And in the sophomore center's defense, Brady Wink is only 5'9". So
yeah.
If you're going to execute that snap out of the shotgun, it's got to be perfect because you've got a low target.
And the other thing is when you have pressure on you, it's really a tough – I played center senior. It's tough when there's somebody on top of you beating on you, and you got to snap the ball and still make your block.
Well, the defense for the Colts holds, and they set up a punt. And the Colts are going to get the ball at the 40-yard line, and they're going to get absolutely no return because Caden Hill came down and did this.
Put his knee on the ground. It looks like it. It's hard to tell. Harding didn't know if they should hit him or not, so they just gave him a little bump and run.
Colts get it back, and they will spot the ball at the 41-yard line. Colts defeated Marion Pleasant last week to get their 4th win in a row. Skoog looking to throw. They try to set up a screen. And Marquise Adams comes up to make the tackle. And Devin Freeman making the play for the Colts. And they get the first down through the air. Now they're in President's territory at the 48-yard line.
Not a bad first completion of the night for Clear Fork. Nice little 10-yard out, get you sticks moving, and you're in Harding's territory.
The Colts can throw the football. Victor Skoog with 1,300 yards through the air and 15 touchdowns. He has thrown 10 picks, so they are prone to turn the ball over. Here they stay on the ground. And the give was to Chris Grove, the junior, and he weaves his way to about 44, pickup of 4. And the tackle was made by Kobe Johnson.
A little bit of a trap play, getting your offensive line, looking at different options and blocking that defensive front. And when I look at that defensive front, those are 4 big guys for Harding up front.
Grove again, left side, and he runs into a wall. Jacob Arndt, big number 7, in on the play, along with Brennan Beecham. And there was nowhere for him to go.
And now
he got a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 4, but he had to work for both of those yards.
And this is just like in the NFL. They keep track of your 3rd down successes. Let's see if Clear Fork can put a plus on this.
3rd down and 4. He had a first down and then some. Grove breaks through. He's going to be stopped just inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal for Clear Fork after a nice piece of running by Chris Grove, the junior. So it's first
nice
and
run.
goal, and that is the last play of the first quarter. The Presidents up 7-0 as we head to the second. You're watching high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Lender, craftsman, dog dad. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
So Chris Grove sets up a first and goal for the Colts at the 8-yard line, and now Clear Fork with a golden opportunity here, Coach, to tie this ball game up.
Oh, what a great run, 44-yard run to get him in the red zone. Now, this is the toughest yards to get it in the end zone.
Grove is the tailback. They go back to him. Tries to bounce to the outside, but he was wrapped up as soon as he took the ball by Caden Hill. Now, you talked about the size on that defensive line, and Hill was not going to let go.
And you know, when you're inside the 10-yard line, your defense has a short field to defend. They only got 10 yards in the end zone to defend. It's a lot easier to defend down here. It's tougher to get the yards.
Loss of 2, second and goal from the 8. That's Grove again. Cuts back, gets down to the 5. And it'll be third and goal from the 5-yard line. Kyrie Scott in on the tackle, along with Braden Gruber. There they gave him a little bit of blocking help.
Nice hole at the point of attack.
Third and goal.
I think this is 2-down territory.
And the snap gets away from Victor Skoog, and he recovers at the 25-yard line. Well, it was 2-down territory, and now not really sure what they're going to do here, as the snap has been a problem for both sides here.
And boy, what a big mistake that was. What a big mistake.
Because that was a golden opportunity for Clear Fork to tie this ball game.
And they're at the 5-yard line. It's third down. They had 2 plays to get it in. They've been running the ball very effective on this drive. But a bad snap. And Harding had a bad snap just the series before that.
Carter Windsor, the senior kicker for Clear Fork, is 1 for 1 on the season. His long was 35 yards. And if they kicked it from here, it would be about a 42-yard attempt.
I think Coach Carroll, looking at the scoreboard, still in this ball game, I think I would try the field goal. Give the field goal a shot. It's as good as a punt.
Well, let's see what they're going to do here. They're still discussing it on the near sideline. There's Dave Carroll.
But Coach Carroll is...
He's been here before.
He knows what his team can do. He knows what the kicker can do. He's putting his team in the best position to get the touchdown now.
So they're going to go for it on 4th and goal from the 24-yard line. Skoog, they look to reverse field to the near side and nowhere to go as they're unable to connect as they were trying to hit Devin Freeman, trying to roll to the right and then come back to the left side. And Marion Harding was having none of it And the throw was off mark as well, but over there quickly was Kyrie Scott, and the Colts turn it over on downs.
And one thing you notice, he had a little bit of pressure in his face. He had the two defensive ends. One of them leads the league in sacks, putting a little pressure on him. He had to throw the ball before he was ready. Comes up short with it.
Well, you talk about that pressure. Rashawn Turner, as we have mentioned, leads the MOAC in sacks with 16. Jacob Barr is third in the conference with 9, so they have the ability to put pressure in the backfield. They stay on the ground, and a nice piece of running by Trinity Keith as it gets up to midfield. So the running game for Marion Harding now wakes up, and they have it 1st and 10 at the 50.
And that's another first down for Harding. Ball's right at the 50-yard line. Took 3 tacklers to bring him down. He runs hard, Brian. He's a hard runner.
And very physical. Trinity Keith, a 5'9", 160-pound junior. High snap, but Wink hauls it down. And Keith tries to bounce to the outside, and he's tackled right in front of the Clear Fork bench. Luke Schlosser in on the play for the Colts, a pickup of about 3. That'll set up a 2nd down and 7.
This is where the Clear Fork defense is got to slow this offense down a little bit. That was a good defensive effort there. Marion Harding ran to the short side of the field. Clear Fork put more defenders there than they can block and made the stop.
2nd and 7. Wink back to throw, steps up in the pocket. He's got some room. He's going to slide at about the 45-yard line, and he'll pick up a couple. But it's going to be 3rd down and 5, and there's a good look at Brady Wink. 18 touchdowns on the season, over 2,000 yards through the air. The 5'9" senior leading this resurgent team that is led by their first-year head coach, Demetrius Ross, and all he has done is guided them to 5 wins, and they have been the talk of the MOAC, and they're trying to snap a 4-game losing streak against these Clear Fork Colts, but they've got a challenge here tonight. It is now 3rd down and 5. Wink back to throw again. It's incomplete as he was trying to hit Brendan Beecham over the middle.
Kind of threw the ball a little bit behind him. It's now 4th down. Do you go for it with this offense, or do you punt Clear Fork in the hole?
Looks like they're going to try to punt and play field position here on 4th and 5.
You want to, the way your defense is playing, you want to keep them bottled up, but
maybe
I think they're going for it.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And this is the confidence that Ross has in his team. Brink caught 1st down as he finds Marquise Adams on the near sideline, and Wink connects for a 1st down on a 4th and 5 play. Talk about confidence in your quarterback. He's thrown a lot of incompletions tonight, but he was on the money with the touchdown pass, and there on 4th down, he delivers a strike to Marquise Adams.
And, you just keep playing it. You just keep throwing the deep. You got the athletes out there. They're going to come up and catch them.
Fresh set of downs at the 22-yard line of Clear Fork. Wink back to throw again, looking into the end zone, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Stokes.
When you have a team that throws the football, that stretches your defense out, and it opens up seams in the middle. Look for a run, look for a draw pretty soon. See if they can't break their tailback out. By throwing the ball deep, those secondary guys get a little nervous, and they start backpedaling a little bit faster. The linebackers start bailing out. Opens up your run game.
And, they've got Trinity Keith in the backfield.
That is a run game. There it is.
Well, they fake it. And Wink is going to run to the near side, runs out of bounds, still short of the 1st down. Looked like a designed run all the way. They faked it to Malachi Robinson, who was in there spelling Trinity Keith. Robinson still in the lineup. Gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 9. I would not be surprised to see Wink go to the end zone here.
They throw the ball deep.
He's going to step up, and he delivers a short one. This one caught by Kyrie Scott. And it's going to be a few yards shy of the first down. And it looks like they're going to go for a field goal.
Well, with the way these defenses are playing, a 10-point lead could be just enough.
32-yard attempt for Jordan Hensley. He has not attempted a field goal this season. So looking to make this a 2-possession ball game with 7:55 to go before halftime. And a flag is going to be thrown. It's going to be a procedure call against Marion Harding. So that's going to push it back, and does this change the play call here for Demetrius Ross? I don't think so. Hensley stays out on the field. It'll make it a 37-yard attempt. To be out of the hold of Brady Wink, the quarterback. It's got the distance. And it is good. So Hensley drills it from 37 yards out, and Harding takes a 10-0 lead. It had the distance right down the middle. Hit it right into the tubas.
Good kick, good play. It helps your offense so much if you can end up with a kicker that can kick the ball consistently down there. And as you said, Brian, Clear Fork needs 2 scores now. And it kind of gets you wondering, should they have tried the field goal earlier? But the bad snap kind of pulled them out of all that.
Taking a look at some of the other things that you can see on OH Report. October 15th, you can see Centerburg taking on Northmore. That is tonight. You can see that. We don't want you to watch it live. We want you to stay with this game, but you can watch it later.
Yep. Delayed telecast.
That's the one we want you to watch right there. And you got Highland at East Knox. That is going to be a good matchup. You need to make sure that you take that one in. Orville taking on Loudonville. And the Colts are going to start this drive at the 20-yard line, and you can sense a little juice on the side of Marion Harding.
Yeah, that field goal got everybody jacked up over there. They didn't bring a lot of fans. Stands is about 2/3 full, but they're making a lot of noise over there right now.
Casey Swank with the return up to the 20. And now Clear Fork, and we saw this when we saw them play Granville a few weeks ago, and that was a game that Clear Fork lost. They're not built to play from behind.
Yeah, they need to put some points on the board before they go in at halftime. This is a big drive for them. With 7 minutes on the clock.
Skoog's going to throw it. Swings it out. It's caught, but thrown off balance and not able to get any yards after the catch was Tristan Robinson. It's up to about the 23. A gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now remember, Clear Fork won the opening coin toss and they deferred, so they're going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Dave Carroll would love to get points here on this drive and then start the 3rd quarter with the football and eat up about 7 minutes in between.
You just want to go in on a positive note.
Ball's on the ground. Skoog falls on it. And fortunately, Clear Fork recovers, but they just waste it down. So both teams really having some issues holding on to the ball. Fortunately for Clear Fork, it was kicked right back to Skoog.
That's one of the disadvantages of being a quarterback. Every time you get a sack or land on a fumble like that, that's your rushing yards going in a negative direction.
3rd down and 14 as the ball resting now at the 18-yard line. Skoog looks to throw. He's under some pressure. And now he's going to run for his life. Gets out to about the 24-yard line. And he was chased out of bounds by Bradley Pennington. So the athleticism of Victor Skoog gets him up across the original line of scrimmage, but still well short of the 1st down. So it's going to send Kyrie Scott back to receive a punt, and the Presidents are going to look to add to a 10-0 lead as they're going to get the ball back with about 6 minutes to go in the first half. Kick angle to the near side of the field, and Scott falls on it at 37, so that's where the Presidents will take over.
And this is a big defensive series for Clear Fork. You do not want to go in down by 3 scores, and you've got to keep Marion Harding out of the end zone. You want to get the ball back and do something positive. So when you go in there at halftime, the coach, you need something to hang your hat on. You got to say, hey, nice job. We put some points on the board. Now we just got to clean up a few things, and we're ready to go. Clear Fork just wants to go in at halftime with the score as it is and make some adjustments to come out the second half.
Fresh set of downs for the Presidents. 1st and 10 from their 37. They will stay on the ground. That is Keith. And Keith in Colt territory at the 45-yard line as he was tackled by Chris Grove. Officials timeout as there is an injured President on the field right in front of the Clear Fork bench.
Looks like another lineman down.
Cannot see. First number is a 7, but I can't see what the second number is. While they're tending to him, we'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for tonight's ball game. A1 Auto Sales, located at 100 South Illinois Avenue in Mansfield, or check in at a1autoohio.com to shop their selection of used vehicles. Game tonight also brought to you by Frito Lay, good fun. Deer Ridge Golf Course in Belleville. Book a tee time online at deerridgegolfcourse.com and stay for lunch or dinner at the Black Dog Tavern, which is a very good meal, by the way, if you have never partaken there. It is outstanding food. Also brought to you by MWD Logistics. Expand your inventory capacity by partnering with MWD with warehousing facilities all over the Midwest. And Park National Bank. Invest with people you know and trust, or bank online anytime at parknationalbank.com. Brian Harder, Bruce Wyrick from Clear Fork High School, and it's a good sign that we're seeing Michael Bush walk off the field as he was the injured player for Marion Harding.
And when the injured player was down, nothing happens on the sidelines, but the coaches can talk to your teams. And I saw the defensive coordinator from Clear Fork out there talking to his team, trying to get them excited. They know how important this drive is. They have got to stop and keep Marion Harding out of the end zone before half.
Trinity Keith is in the backfield along with Brady Wink. And they'll give it to Keith, and he is tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
And I tell you, it was a good thing somebody tripped him. He could have had a long run.
Caleb Holler, I believe, was able to just reach out and just trip him. Otherwise, he had a lane up the middle.
It looked like green grass all the way.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7, but the Colts will take that.
Yeah, right now the Colts they need a big play. They need a big defensive play to slow this offense down. Sack, interception, fumble.
Got a pitch to the far side. Caden Fags tries to cut back, gets to the 35-yard line. He'll be close to a first down. Little misdirection by the Presidents, and depending on the spot, it's going to be short. It's going to be third and about a half a yard as they spot it inside the 36.
And we're starting to see a few other players touch the ball for Harding. That was number 11's first touch. They're mixing it up a little bit.
Keith. And Keith is going to be stopped. And now this is going to depend on the spot. Victor Skoog in on the play defensively, right in the middle, and they're going to spot it short. It's going to be 4th and inches, and I'm not surprised at all. Harding's going to go for it.
Yeah, this is a series that can break Clear Fork's back if they can get the first down and continue to score. And like Clear Fork's playing great defense right now, they got to step it up one more time. They got to make the play. Look for the quarterback to keep it, maybe do a little run.
Caleb Holler wrapped him up before Skoog came up and finished him off. Wink's going to run for it. He's got the first down and then some. Inside the 20, down the far sideline. Touchdown, Harding.
Flag on the play.
Flag, and this one could come back.
Looks like a holding call.
It's a 36-yard touchdown run if it stands, but they're marching back toward the line of scrimmage.
Personal
and it
foul,
is a hold
holding
against Harding, so that wipes the touchdown off the board. Well, he needed inches. He got 36 yards, but it was all for naught. As they're coming back, and they'll do it again. And they're still not going to punt. They're going to go for it here now on, it'll be 4th and about 7. I like the aggressiveness of Demetrius Ross. You're on the road. This is a team that well, now it looks like they are going to bring the punt team out.
Yeah.
Wouldn't shock me to see a fake.
Yeah, Marion Harding, no, they want to keep Clear Fork in the hole. Clear Fork's having a little bit of trouble moving the ball up the field. Let's punt them, keep them deep, going with a 10-0 lead.
And a timeout. Well, this looks like an official's timeout here as we have an equipment problem as one of the Presidents, Bradley Pennington, running off the field. And
timeout.
What they're going to do here. A timeout now taken by the Presidents as they want to make sure they get things right here on 4th and 7. 3:28 to go before halftime. We'll have the Black Dog Tavern halftime show coming up. We'll have the marching bands out, and if pregame was any indication, the marching band sounded very good. There you get a good look at Demetrius Ross, the first-year head coach of the Presidents of Marion Harding. Last year they were 0-5 in the MOAC and 2-7 overall. Their wins were over Madison and Thomas Worthington, and he came in and the culture has changed dramatically in Harding. They're 5-3. They should be 6-2. They're 2-2 in the MOAC. They should be 3-1, but again, I mean, obviously they lost the game, but that's a game that they would love to have that back, the Marion Pleasant game.
And I'm really impressed with them. I mean, they're using their skilled players. They're not afraid to throw the ball up, utilizing the skills of the players that he has on the field, putting them in the best position to succeed. Clear Fork did what they had to do. They forced them to a punt, turned the ball over. As long as you can keep it with a two-score possession, Clear Fork's sitting really good.
So Hensley back in punt formation. And they're going to fake it.
Oh, they're faking.
They're looking near side. They've got a receiver, and it's incomplete. They were trying to hit Hayden Bays. Told you to watch for the fake.
They have nothing to lose. You got
absolutely nothing to lose.
You got a new coach out there. Your defense is playing well. Clear Fork's struggling to move the ball a little bit. Go for it.
So the Colts, though, that's the good news. The bad news is you've just given the Colts the football at their own 42-yard line.
And Coach Carroll needs to make something happen here.
Not sure what he is pleading his case to the officials about.
Illegal substitution.
Dave Carroll, you talk about arguably in the conversation as one of the best coaches in this area. 13 years, 220 career wins. He's a Clear Fork guy.
And he's done a great job down here. It's unbelievable what he does.
They've won 2 MOAC championships out of the 4 years they're in the league.
And if they can put a score on the board right now, it changes everything. It'll change everything for the Colts.
Again, they will get the ball to start the third quarter. They would love points here on this drive. And the ball is on the ground again, and they're going to fall on it at the 24-yard line. Tristan Robinson there to fall on it, but just when Clear Fork gets opportunities, something like that happens.
Boy, shoot yourself in the back.
They had a 1st and goal situation.
Bad snap.
And the inability to handle the football. And now they're facing a 2nd and 27.
Very uncharacteristic.
They hit underneath, and a short game by Milo Bergholder. Gets up to about the 34.
Moving the ball. Tried a wide receiver screen, dumped it to the middle, had some room.
Caden Hill comes up to make the play.
They got a long way to go for a first down.
The third miscue between the center and the quarterback for the Colts tonight. 2 minutes to go before halftime. And the Colts trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. They're thought about it again. This time Scoog goes down to 27 and flags go down. Rashawn Turner in on the sack along with Braden Gruber. And let's see what the flag is. And it looks like it's going to go against the Presidents. And the pocket just literally disappeared from around Victor Scoog. But they're going to get a break here. There's Rashawn Turner, 16 sacks, leads the conference.
When you have 3rd and really long, over 20, that defensive line knows you're not going to run the ball. They just tee
went after
off
it
and go after it. And this is how you make your money in the NFL. And Ohio Northern, Division III school, they had a pass rusher, made it to the Browns.
3rd down and 15. Ball hits the ground. And Freeman scoops it up, gets up close to midfield, but still well short of the first down, about 5 yards short. And I think he was going to throw it.
I think it was a lateral, and he took it and ran it.
Ball hit the ground, and he had no choice. It's going to be 4th down and 5. And I think the Colts are going to try to pin the Presidents with about 1:40 to go before the intermission. As Drew Blauser will drop back in punt formation. Gets it off cleanly, angles it to the near side. And a nice job for Clear Fork as he's forced out of bounds was Kyrie Scott at the 9.
Pins him deep.
That was a nice directional kick by Blauser.
And if Clear Fork can hold them and go in at halftime, 10-zip, I know Coach Carroll has made tremendous adjustments at halftime. If they can make the adjustments they need, they're well within this ballgame, Brian.
We talked about what they have done in the MOAC. Overall, this has just been a championship program. They won 12 conference championships overall. They won the Johnny Appleseed Conference 4 times. Remember the old Johnny Appleseed Conference?
Oh, do I ever.
The Mohican Area Conference 5 times. The Cardinal Conference once. And now the MOAC twice. The old Johnny Appleseed Conference. Short run up the middle to about the 10-yard line. That was Malachi Robinson with the carry. And if you're Marion Harding, you just want to get this final 1:14 off the clock and get into the locker room with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, but look for them to go deep. This coach has no fear about throwing the football anytime, anywhere.
Wink back to throw. Looks left side. It's incomplete. He was trying to get the ball into Brennan Beecham, but again, outstanding coverage over on that side by Chris Grove. And Luke Schlosser also over there. And it was Schlosser that knocked it away.
And when you have an offense like Marion does, it doesn't matter where you're at on the field. You throw deep. The coach has no fear of throwing the beat. That's what happens when you have confidence in your receivers and your quarterback.
3rd down and 8. And they're going to stay on the ground. And that's Robinson up to the 18. Schlosser wraps him up. So that'll be, it's like it's going to be 3rd and short, 3rd and about a yard.
Looks like they're going to measure or they're taking a good look at it.
Yeah, that's because it's close.
Yeah, they're bringing the chain gang out.
Now, I know that Demetrius Ross has a lot of confidence in his team, but if they do not get this here, he has to punt because you can't run the risk of giving Clear Fork the ball back with 44 seconds to go inside the 20.
Yeah, it's hard to see what they're going to do, but son of a gun, they're an exciting football team. They've already tried one fake punt. They've tried an onside kick. They're not afraid to throw the ball deep.
Looks like from here it's short. But I tell you what, it's close. They are still looking at it. It is short by inches. So it's
44 seconds. 3rd and short.
3rd and short. Guess there's no question as to whether they'll go for it on 3rd down. I thought it was 4th down, but that makes that play call a whole lot easier.
It definitely does.
Well, now they do change the yard marker. It's 4th down. I thought it was 4th down, but they hadn't changed the marker on the far side of the field. And I think they're going for it.
Yep.
They're going to go for it here on 4th and inches.
Do you try
inside the 20? Do you try to draw them off, or do you just go for it?
Confidence in your offense. Best runner, best ball play.
High snap. Wink pulls it down, and he doesn't get it. And it was the snap that did it.
Yep.
It threw his timing off, and Logan Anderson was right there along with Drew Blauser.
Woo-wee.
We've talked about the center quarterback exchange for both teams, and that one cost Harding a 1st down.
And it may.
The guys from ESPN love it.
They love it. Everybody's excited. That call is going to be second-guessed by the armchair fans all week long.
And I also like the fact he's wearing an Indians T-shirt.
Yeah,
or an
there
Indians
you go.
Jersey.
Yeah.
They're always going to be the Indians to me. I'm sorry.
Yep. Always will be. I guess that's showing our age.
That is showing our age. I grew up with the Indian. And to me, they still play at Jacobs Field. So.
Yep.
So the Colts get the ball back, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line with 25 seconds left. They've got time to run 2, maybe 3 plays.
And let's see, the timeouts on the board. Can you see it, Brian? What they have?
Clear Fork has 1 timeout left, and the Presidents have 2. And if Clear Fork can get any points here on this possession and then open the third quarter,
the momentum may change.
I like the call, except for the fact that the center quarterback exchange has been an issue throughout the first half.
Yep, we've seen it numerous times. I saw it in pregame.
Empty backfield. Skoog's looking to throw. Rolls to his right, looks into the end zone. It's caught on the far side of the field by Jay Jackson, the freshman. And that'll stop the clock with 18 seconds to go before halftime. And a lot of the talk around here, Jay Jackson is a good-looking freshman. And they really like his potential here. They're going to say he was out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
So incomplete, 2nd down and 10. The only good thing now, it stops the clock with 18 seconds to go.
The official was right on the sidelines.
Skoog again is going to roll to his right. Looks again, it's incomplete. This time, trying to find Devin Freeman. And that'll stop the clock with 13 seconds to go. Carter Windsor, the senior, has kicked 1 field goal this season. It was a 35-yarder, so this is in his range.
And if you don't make it into the end zone, I kick the field goal. You got to get some points on the board. You got to go in at halftime with a little momentum.
The Colts again on 3rd and 10. Skoog with some time. Now he's flushed out. He's in trouble. Gets away, and he's going to look to run. Gets into the 10, the 5. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Now, that took a lot of time. It'll stop the clock with 2 seconds to go. Do you go for the touchdown or you go for the field goal?
Field goal. You
and
need
they're going
the
to
points.
send the field goal unit out. This is going to be a chip shot for Carter Windsor, the senior. And Skoog sets it up with a nifty run, pushed out of bounds inside the 5.
You got to go in with some points. You've got to have some positive momentum. This is the 3 points you need to go in at halftime. But I think they're going to run it.
They're going to run a play. 1st and goal from the 2, and they're going to go for 7.
Timeout.
And a timeout taken by the Presidents. What do you think of this call? Okay, you're the coach now.
Well,
and you're down 10-0.
I lost to Clear Fork 10 years straight. So whatever I say, look at the opposite. My record against Clear Fork as the head coach at Ontario was 0-10, and I'm not going to second-guess anything Coach Carroll does down here.
13 seasons, 220 wins, and 10-0 against Bruce Wiring.
10-0 against Wiring. Now, we took them into overtime a couple times. We had them beat, but we had a chin strap not fastened. That's when they came out the rule that if your chin strap came undone, it was a penalty. Ed Music caught the ball in the end zone. We were all cheering.
But you never went head-to-head against Dave Carroll.
No, never went against Coach Carroll. Big play.
Well, the offense stays on the field. They're going to go for it on 1st and goal from the 2. Skoog's going to roll to his right. Looks into the end zone. It's going to be caught for a touchdown. The touchdown logged in by Jay Jackson, the freshman. And Clear Fork gets 6 points on the board before the intermission.
And boy, did they need that. That's probably the biggest 2-yard pass they'll ever have.
They run the same play, running to the right, and he finds the freshman in the end zone. What a gutsy call.
Great call by
Coach
Carroll.
Jackson with touchdown reception number 5 on the season. And the Colts can make this a 3-point ball game heading into the locker room. And now they're going to go for two. Skoog is going to scoot into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Actually, it was Robinson, 21 and not 20. And don't look now, the Colts now have 8 as they run to the locker room. What a fake by Clear Fork. The races to the pylon, gets knocked in. And Clear Fork pulls to within 2 as we head to the intermission. You're watching high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report. Stay with us for the Black Dog Tavern halftime show.
Wow. So
Lender, Craftsman, Dog Dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
has cast a shadow on your dreams.
Feels like the only option. Evolves to anger.
But often, adversity is a pathway of progress.
The journey is hard, but sometimes you have to rise up, unafraid, and take the world to its feet.
Opportunity. Stand up and be who you are. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. successes that lie ahead.
cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Welcome back to the Black Dog Tavern halftime show. I am Brian Harder along with Bruce Wyrick, and I tell you what, I thought we were going into the locker room with a 10-0 game, and all of a sudden a shift in momentum in the second quarter, and it all started with a failed fourth down conversion by Marion Harding.
Wow, that's all I had to say because that was unbelievable. Marion Harding tries for it deep in their territory. They don't make it on fourth down. Clear Fork takes over. They score. Then they come back and do a little razzle-dazzle and get a 2 points and make it a 2-point game. Probably the most exciting 2 minutes of football I've seen this year, Brian. Wow.
That is how you win 220 games. The coaching that we saw in the last 2 minutes of that half by Dave Carroll. You're right. I don't know if I've ever seen him take advantage of the situation that he was given. And then you think they're just going to tie it up. That's the golden opportunity to go for two.
Yeah, and, you know, here I am thinking field goal. Yeah, just get some points on the board, take it in the end zone, or take it in at halftime, 10-3. And what's Dave Carroll do? He goes for it, he scores, and says, hey, I'm not done yet. I'm going to throw it down your throat. And he does it again, gets another 2 points. It's a 2-point game. They're one field goal away from going ahead in this game now.
Let's take a look at the halftime numbers, and I don't think we're going to see any real surprises here as we take a look at the statistics of the first half. Total yardage for Clear Fork a little bit down, 107 yards, and I guess 73 yards on the ground, 93 for Marion Harding. A lot of that by their playmaker, Trinity Keith. 179 total yards for Marion Harding, 5 penalties for the Presidents, 1 turnover. They got those out of the way in the first quarter.
Yeah, and the thing that kind of gets me is that the offenses, you got to look at the mistakes they're making. And the big thing, and I pointed this out before the game, I was watching Marion Harding center snap the ball, and it was a little bit high. And if you're having trouble in pregame, what's going to happen when the defense lines up across from you? Well, we've seen what happens. And Clear Fork and Marion Harding have both struggled with the long snap tonight.
Yeah, that has been an issue. We thought the weather was really going to be an issue. There was a light rain that fell before the kickoff, so the field may have been a little wet. So, you know, you're transferring from the field to the ball gets a little wet. But there were just, especially with Marion Harding, there were some high snaps. I know Brady Wink is only 5'9". The center is a sophomore. I did not get a chance to ask Demetrius Ross if there was a change in the lineup. Maybe he is not the normal center. But whatever the case, that was a struggle for them in the first half. So knowing that, would you go for it 4th and short on your end of the field when you had those exchange issues? I know people in Marion are probably going to second-guess that if they end up losing this game.
And that was a big call. Every time you're in the red zone, inside the 20-yard line, you just want to get the ball out of there and put the weight of the game on your quarterback or your defense. And instead, they went for it and didn't work, and it kind of backfired on them. And, you know, when I was at senior high, I played center, and I had some bad snaps, but the quarterback was underneath me, and he'd take the direct snap. It wasn't these long snaps that they're doing today, and I don't really know what it would be like to snap the ball and have somebody smack you in the helmet after you do that, or got to be able to snap the ball, a perfect snap and step to the right and cut off a gap, a blitzing linebacker. It takes a lot of pressure to be a good center these days.
Now, as you see, people were prepared for the rain, and the radar, as we take a look at it here, there is rain coming. So hopefully, it looks like there might even be a line of storms that are going to be coming as well. So hopefully we can get this second half in. Right now it is not raining yet, but I'm starting to see some umbrellas pop up. And hopefully we're going to get these next 2 quarters in. But I would not be surprised. There you see rain starting to fall, that we may have a delay here in the third quarter because there is a line of thunderstorms coming. And maybe with a little divine intervention, it can just sneak around the valley. And we won't have any delay in the action.
We've seen it work both ways for us. One night we were here and the storm stayed behind us. It stayed up north. It hit Shelby. It hit Mansfield, but it avoided us. But the lightning did cause a delay for us. Another time we're down here and we look over here to the right, heading back towards the town of Belleville, and boy, lightning was coming right at us. So you never know what's going to happen down here in the valley.
It is anybody's ball game here, 10-8 as we head into the third quarter, and I can imagine the moods in the locker room may have been a little bit different for each side.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying Clear Fork needed to score to go in with a positive note, and they did it. They pulled a positive note out, put 8 points on the board in the last minute, and wow, what an ending to a first half.
So the Colts won the opening coin toss. They deferred, so they're going to get the ball to start the third quarter here. As the rain begins to fall, the kickoff is up across the 30, still on his feet to the near side of the field and knocked out of bounds just this side of the 50-yard line, and the flags are down. A late hit on the return. And Clear Fork is going to have very good field position as the rain is blowing in.
And you talk about a little bit of a downpour. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's coming straight down, but
is that going to make a difference on the football field throwing the ball? We're going to find out real quick here.
Well, the center quarterback exchanges were a little bit of a challenge without the rain and the wind. Let's see what it does now. So 1st and 10 at about the 38-yard line. And now the penalty is going to move the ball inside the 30 to about the 27.
Great field position. Great field position.
Tight formation, and I would imagine Clear Fork will stay on the ground, and Grove with nowhere to go on the right side. As you can see there in the picture, the rain is coming down pretty hard now.
We got another penalty on the play. Unsportsmanlike.
The emotions really flying on this field right now. Both of these teams are playing to win here in Week 9.
That's the 7th penalty for 75 yards on Harding. Total of 75 yards. And these last two, that's 30 yards tacked onto a great kickoff return. And Clear Fork is knocking on the door.
Ball is going to be marched all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
2 first downs because of penalties.
And it will be spotted at the 14. Skoog with 2 backs in the backfield. Again, a high snap. They stay on the ground. That's Grove up the middle, down to the 6-yard line. The ball is on the ground, and it's going to be knocked around and recovered by Harding in the end zone. Another flag, though, is down at the 5-yard line. And this is going to get wild before it is said and done.
Wow, that's all I can say.
Let's see what the flag is about. The ball was recovered by Marion Harding. They're picking up the flag.
Waving it off.
So it is going to go to Marion Harding at the 5-yard line. What a strange turn of events here. You see the high snap again. And Grove just trying to fight for yardage, and they're struggling just to get the ball. Kyrie Scott may have knocked it out.
It is bouncing around. It's anybody's ball.
And then it's recovered by Scott. So let's see where they're going to spot the football.
Should go to the 20-yard line. It's a touchback.
Yeah.
What an opportunity. What an opportunity. That's their second fumble of the night. But that was a costly one. That'll keep you awake at night.
Fresh set of downs for the Presidents as they try to add to a 2-point lead. Snap ball is on the ground again, and Clear Fork says they have it, and they do. So another turnover on back-to-back plays as the ball now is really hard to control. And the Clear Fork offense coming back out onto the field.
Holy moly, what what a 1 minute of game, Brian. That's unbelievable. Change of possession, the wet ball all over the field. Nobody's handling it properly right now, and here we go.
So now it's the Colts ball inside the 20. The rain is starting to let up. On the ground again, it's Grove inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, the Colts have the lead. It was Luke Schlosser with the carry. And from 18 yards out, Clear Fork has taken the lead.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. Almost went in untouched. Great play call.
So Windsor on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. And Clear Fork now with a 15-10 lead. The first lead of the night for the Colts, thanks to this run from 18 yards out by Luke Schlosser.
Fumbles and penalties have set up a lot of offense tonight, Brian. Fumbles and penalties. It was a great kickoff return, followed by 30 yards of penalties, then a fumble by Clear Fork, and then a return by Harding, then a fumble by Harding. Clear Fork scores, and we've only had 2 minutes of football. Had 2 minutes of football.
Think about the last 4 minutes of this game.
Wow, that's all I can say. I'll tell you, it's been the most exciting 4 minutes of football we've seen all year long.
The mist continues to fall. Trying to take a look at the radar here and see if there's a line of storms just to the north of us. That might pass over. There was a pretty steady shower there at the beginning of the quarter. That has subsided.
Let's see what Marion Harding can answer with.
Scott up to the 20. Falls forward and falls down at about the 27. So that's where the President's now trailing for the first time tonight. They will take it 1st and 10. And now let's see how they respond with some adversity.
It's amazing how the momentum has changed from the Harding sidelines to the Clear Fork sidelines in just 1 minute.
At one point, with 2 minutes to go before halftime, Marion Harding was on top 10-0. And the Colts have reeled off 15 unanswered points.
And I think we had another penalty.
Yep, there was another penalty, and that's going to be marched off against Marion Harding. So the wheel's starting to fall off a little bit here for Demetrius Ross and his presidents, as now they're back at the 10-yard line.
That's their 8th penalty for 85 yards. And that really, really puts them in a bind.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Ball on the ground again. And they're going to call another penalty against the Presidents, and the wheels are just falling off very quickly here for Marion Harding.
And that's their 9th penalty, 90 yards. They're moving in the wrong direction, and the wet ball seems to be causing some problems for both teams right now.
It is now 1st and 15. Presidents stay on the ground. Short yardage up to about the 8-yard line for Trinity Keith. How many times during a ball game did you make a call that didn't work out, and then you spent time afterwards thinking about that call, or can you just erase it from your mind?
Oh, it's always in the back door. It's always back there somewhere. I can name off 2 or 3 plays right now I wish I had back from my coaching days.
2nd and 11. It's Keith again. And he has stood up, and now the defense for the Colts is fired up as they force a 3rd and long, led by Caden Riddle.
Yeah, those plays that you mess up and wish you had back, they're in the back of your mind, and they'll be there for a long, long time. You always wonder, what if I would have ran this or did this differently?
So a big 3rd down and 8 play.
And Clear Fork, they made the adjustments at halftime. They've come out. They're playing great ball right now.
Wink looks left side. It's incomplete. And another misfire to Brennan Beecham.
And here we are. This is a 4th down situation, almost the same position on the field as they were before half when they went for it. I think they're going to punt this time.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to punt.
Yeah, we're not going to mess around this time.
So Hensley will kick it from his end zone.
With the wet ball and the way the ball's going, could go over his head at any time.
Rain starting to pick up. And Hensley gets the kick off. And it's going to take a Harding roll down to right between the 47 and the 48-yard line. So Clear Fork with pretty good field position.
And with the rain coming down, it does change the field. And there are some football teams who are better at playing in the rain than they are, if you throw the football, sometimes the rain hampers you. But I had a football time one time. It came down, raining, and they played their best ball in the rain.
Skoog with a fresh set of downs. And Grove stood up at the 45. And on the stop, Braden Gruber.
And to me, when the rain started coming down, Clear Fork kids got excited. They were jumping, running around. You practice in the rain, you play in the rain.
Now back in the old days, this would be mud.
It's a great facility here.
Grove again breaks a tackle. Ball on the ground again. And looks like this was recovered by the Colts as Grove fell on it. Ball's just really hard to hold on to right now. 3rd and a long 7. As we approach the 8-minute mark of the third quarter, the Colts with 2 unanswered touchdowns and a 15-10 lead. And a little trickery again for the Colts. They look to the freshman again, and it's incomplete. Jay Jackson, the intended receiver.
Little razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, they're not going to throw with a wet ball.
Yeah. You never know what Colts are going to do. Ball hung in the air a little bit. He was open. He had a step behind him.
Well, if Jackson could have kept his stride, he'd be looking at the end zone.
Yep.
So it's 4th down. And a punting situation as Blauser is going to go back inside the 45. Blauser just gets the kick off. It's fielded at the 11. Scott.
Good coverage by the Colt defense. They never let him get outside. They kept turning him back inside. Finally, the pursuit catches up with you. Great job by the coverage team.
Fine rain still falling here at Clear Fork. 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. As the bulk of the rain is blowing through. And so far, knock on wood, we have avoided any thunder and lightning. But to the north of us in Mansfield and Ashland, looks like they're getting hit pretty hard. But here at Clear Fork, the only storm has been the Colts offense as they have rattled off 2 straight touchdowns in the last couple minutes of the second quarter and the start of the third. Trinity Keith with yardage up to the 15-yard line.
And the thing Clear Fork's ahead by 5 points, but this Marion Harding has the ability to score at any time from any place on that football field. So you just keep your head up, play defense, don't let this team out of the box. And here they come. Sweep. Great defense by Clear Fork.
Oh, this defense for the Colts is fired up with their 5-point lead. This is how they have won 4 in a row against Marion Harding.
The defensive adjustments that were made by Clear Fork at halftime are working. I love it when coaches struggle the first half. Openings, running the ball, throwing the ball. You make a few adjustments, and now your defense is playing outstanding.
Before tonight, the closest game in this series was a 41-14 Colts win back in 2017. Wink back to throw. Looks left side, and this one I think is caught. That's a nice grab by Beecham. They finally connect, and it's a first down. That was a tough throw by Wink, and a nice grab at the other end by Beecham.
And again, they love to throw the ball deep. Nothing short, going deep on it. Another first down.
So now they got a little bit of running room, and the rain has stopped.
And this is a dangerous team. This is a dangerous Marion Harding offense.
Keith.
Here he goes.
He's got a running lane. He's popped at the 39-yard line and falls forward for a couple more after the initial contact.
Wow, he got popped big time.
Well, and someone from Clear Fork is at the bottom of the pile and holding his left arm, and
if we can see a replay of that, you probably know what happened because it was a big-time collision, and it comes right at the end here.
Aiden Perry.
Boom!
Aiden Perry is the injured player, and he's the one that delivered the hit.
And he took the hit. And he seems to be holding his left arm.
There he is, walking off the field. It was a first down carry.
And Marion Harding starting to assert themselves a little bit. Running the ball, getting yardage.
5 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the third quarter. President's trying to come from behind. They were up 10-0 with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, and it seemed like everything was going Harding's way. Stay on the ground again. It's Keith again. And he breaks a tackle and then gets about another yard up to the 47-yard line.
He's approaching 100 yards. He's got 97 yards. And right now, Marion Harding's putting the weight on this tailback's shoulders and just letting him run where the opening is.
Tackle made by Chase McCune. Pickup of about 7, second down and 3. Wink, and that was a run all the way.
Quarterback bootleg trying to outguess the defense.
Forced out of bounds by Chris Grove. And let's see where they spot the ball. Looks like they're going to spot it just shy of midfield, so it'll be third and short. Third and about 1. What a ball game. What an outstanding ball game.
We've had a lot of ball games. This is number, 9 for us? And this is probably the most exciting game we've had.
Third and 1 from just shy of midfield. Keith
there
has the first down yardage as he falls forward. His initial progress should be enough for the first down. At the bottom of the pile, excuse me, is Drew Blauser.
Once you cross that 50-yard line, it gets tougher and tougher to gain yards. And this Colt defense needs to rise up. Need a turnover right now to squeal the Presidents. Put them out.
First and 10 from the Colt 49-yard line. Wink again looks to go to the air. It's incomplete. Nice coverage by Mason Pipes.
Very good coverage by the defense. I like Harding, though. I love they're still throwing the ball, running the ball, moving the ball. You're only behind by 5 points. A touchdown puts you up by 1. Second down and 10. Look to run the ball here.
Well, they're going to stay on the ground. And Keith is trying to bounce to the outside, and he can't do it. He can't get away from Luke Schlosser. So the offense for the Colts puts up a couple touchdowns, and the defense is doing everything it can against this high-powered offense, and that's a nice play by Schlosser.
Good pursuit. Good tackle. Very good tackle. I don't think people realize how hard it is to tackle a skilled back athlete like that in the middle of the field all by yourself.
Third down and 14. Wink steps up, has a receiver. He throws it up in the air. He just threw that one up for Stokes, and he couldn't come down with it. Logan Anderson on the coverage for Clear Fork, and another fine defensive play. This one turned in by Anderson.
Looked like Wink could have run the ball a little bit, moved upfield. But I doubt if he'd have made the first down, did the right thing, tried to get the go route on the sidelines.
So Schlosser back to receive the kick for the Colts.
Again, be wary of their skilled players. They could fake it at any time.
Going to be no return. This one's going to take a Harding roll inside the 5, and it's going to be down just shy of the goal line. What a special teams play by the Presidents. Hayden Bays watches the ball roll to the 1 and ends the play right there.
Boy, I don't know if that's the 1. I think that might be the 6-inch mark.
He let that go as close to the end zone as he could.
Great job. I'm glad he didn't step in. That ball's just bouncing around on a wet turf. He's looking at it. I got it. Nice.
Perfect.
Yep. 6 inches. In fact, if you turn the football lengthwise, I think it's going to hit the goal line.
Our producer has a new toy. Have you noticed? The slow motion there on the
awesome.
replay.
Great video. Great videos.
1st and 10. The Colts are backed up. Another low snap. And the ball is loose in the end zone.
Safety.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything here.
Yep.
And now the Presidents get 2 points as the defense comes up big in the end zone thanks to the special teams play by Marion Harding. You could almost see this coming. Skoog with nowhere to go.
Pressure.
So with 3:10 to go, the Presidents get 2 points closer.
And now Clear Fork's got to punt the ball or kick the ball. Oh, we have a flag on the play. Looks like the coach, unsportsmanlike conduct. Yep.
Demetrius Ross is not happy.
I have no idea. I don't know what he's arguing about unless it was he thought it should have been, I don't know.
Well, he's still not happy.
Little controversy here. I think we have everything tonight, Brian. Everything.
The only thing we haven't had is a punt or a kickoff return for a touchdown, but we still have
a lot of time.
All the fourth quarter.
Yep. And as you said, this is the most exciting game, I think, in the last 3 years. Unbelievable, everything that's happening.
Here we take a look at the safety again.
Good pass rush. Ball's on the ground.
I was really surprised when they recovered. They didn't try to pull it out of the end zone. Actually, I don't think it's returnable anyway once you recover the fumble.
I have no idea what happened back there. When the quarterback was in the grass, when he went down, is that when the safety was called? And you're right. It was a fumble in the end zone. Clear Fork could have ran the ball out.
Officials still trying to figure out what is going on. Unfortunately, we don't have them mic'd. They have given now they took the safety off of the board. So it's now 15-10. That might be what Ross is upset about. They did not call it a safety.
Boy,
and they called now the penalty is going to move the ball out. Wow, this is a big swing. It's now 15-10 as they take the safety off of the board.
I have no idea what happened there.
That is why he was so upset. So a break here for the Colts. They go back to the ground. And Schlosser gets up across the 25. So let's take a look at the play again. And
if you watch the official,
he signals a safety. He comes in right there.
Yep, we don't
to the
see
right.
It, but his hand goes, there it
blows
is.
The whistle, and there's the safety call.
Safety call.
and he blew the whistle. So the play was dead. Schlosser up across 25, and he's got first down yardage to about the 28. So that's a break for Clear Fork. Not only do the 2 points come off the board, they keep the ball.
That's right. I think it was a dead ball. As soon as the official blew the whistle, the ball is dead. I don't understand it.
Schlosser again. And he's wrapped up by Jacob Barr. Kyrie Scott also in on the play, along with Caden Hill. They'll give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. Actually, they'll move the ball up to about the 31. It'll make it 2nd and 7. Colts continue to pound on the ground. Another first down and then some. Hard running up to the 45-yard line. Luke Schlosser, the sophomore. And Kyrie Scott makes a tackle, but the ground game for Clear Fork is now starting to take control of this now that they're out of their own end zone.
And the offensive line is starting to get a little movement up front, and these backs only need a sliver of daylight to wiggle their way through.
Fresh set of downs at the 45. Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They're across midfield down to the 47, a gain of 7. And again, it's Schlosser.
You find something that works, you just keep working it until the other team stops it. And when they stop it, you find out who stopped it, and then you run another play to counter him. It's like a game of chess, Brian. You just keep working back and forth when you have two good teams battling each other.
Kobe Johnson made the tackle for the Presidents. Schlosser again. And he has stood up at the 45-yard line. He's close to a first down. Let's see where they give him progress. And that is going to be the final play of the third quarter as we take a look at the replay. They're going to spot it a yard shy, so it'll be 3rd and 1 as we come back to start the fourth quarter. You're watching high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Lender, Craftsman.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
The Colts with a 15-10 lead, as we head to the fourth quarter. Omar Vizquel there in the end zone, and I don't know who the Indian is, but what a strange game here in the Valley, and it's anybody's contest as we head to the fourth quarter.
I have no idea what went on that play.
3rd and inches for the Colts. They will stay on the ground. They will have the first down and then some. Another piece of running by Grove. Actually, it's 21, Robinson. And it's a fresh set of downs for Clear Fork. I don't mind saying these black jerseys with the green numbers are a broadcaster's nightmare.
It is. Sometimes I actually have to watch the replay from OH Report here to see who has the ball. But this game has given us a little of everything tonight. Looks like another penalty. 15-yarder against Harding.
Demetrius Ross has to be beside himself as he has seen what was a promising first half of football for his Presidents just slip away, beginning with that fourth down conversion in the second quarter.
It's all gone downhill for the Presidents since that play.
Penalty moves the ball down to the 23. Schlosser to about the 22, a gain of a couple. High snap again.
Yeah.
But look at the room that Schlosser has to maneuver.
And thing I like about him running, he picks his time. He takes his time. He doesn't rush in there. He lets his offensive line get the blocks.
This is a big defensive series for the Presidents if they want to stay in this game. And the Colts just continue to pound away. Schlosser again inside the 20 as they're just inching their way down the field, and you can just sense the momentum just has shifted in favor of the black and green.
The Harding defense has got to make a stand, and they have the people to do it. They need to make a play here, but I'll tell you what, they're running the ball. Clear Fork's running the ball right like they should.
Another high snap. Skoog has to go back, and now it's trouble again as he is wrapped up by Rashawn Turner.
And we saw it coming.
Another high snap. So they're able to capitalize and move the Colts outside the 25 to just shy of the 27. The fourth errant snap of the ball game.
Timeout, Colts.
So with 10:09 to go in the fourth quarter, it's still anybody's ball game, but you can sense the intensity and the severity of this drive for the Colts. And if they can get some points on the board here, it's almost a knockout punch to Marion Harding because they just have not been able, since they could not convert on that fourth down at the end of the second quarter. Nothing has gone their way.
No, they're struggling right now. Offensively, their defense is playing a little bit better right now. But what I like about Clear Fork, they're controlling the clock and the line of scrimmage, and the backs are just picking 3-4 yards every play. And the only thing stopping them is their own mistakes. Bad snaps puts them in a hole.
Bad snaps, penalties.
Penalties have really hurt Harding this half. Harding actually has 11 penalties for 115 yards.
So now on 4th and 14, the offense for the Colts stays on the field.
Good snap.
Stu looks, quick hitter, near side. And it's into the end zone for a touchdown. What a reception. Hauled in by Jay Jackson, the freshman. His second touchdown reception of the night, a gutsy call on 4th down. Skoog throws a perfect pass, and it was over the arms of Marquise Adams. And the big freshman goes up and gets it.
What a play. What a play. And great call. One-on-one. Isolation up the sidelines. Touchdown. I do know that was a touchdown, Brian.
They will kick the extra point, and it is no good. So it's a 21-10 lead for the Colts. What a play. What a nice throw by Skoog. And the freshman wrestles it away from Marquise Adams.
And it's not like the defense was not in position. The defense was right there. He had his hands on the ball. But as you said, that young freshman wanted it a little bit more, ripped it out of the hands, kept control of it, touchdown.
Skoog now has 17 touchdown passes on the season. And I tell you what, if you're the Presidents, you're in shock right now.
You have to be. I mean, you controlled the ball for a whole first quarter, and you controlled it up to the last minute just before half. Then the bottom kind of fell out, and they have not regained any composure yet.
Jackson grabbing his 6th touchdown reception of the season. When the night started, he was down the list among league leaders. Now he has vaulted his way up into a tie for 3rd.
And Marion Harding has put themselves in a situation where they need 2 scores.
Actually, he was tied with Stokes, but Stokes has a touchdown reception tonight, so he's
right.
now in 4th.
Yep. But right now, Harding needs to make something happen on this series.
Kyrie Scott with the return, still on his feet, puts his shoulder down at the 35-yard line, and we're going to see now what the Presidents are made of here with 9:50 to go in the ball game. Scott with a nice return up across the 30.
And this is where Clear Fork can make a stand. If their defense goes out and shuts them down and gives the ball back to the offense, and the way the offense for Clear Fork has been controlling the clock, they're going to eat up some time. And right now the clock is against Marion Harding. They need to score on this drive. I look for them to go deep. Throw the ball up.
Wink back to throw, looks over the middle, a little miscommunication between him and Caden Fags.
That was an all-go route. I used to run that. You line 4 receivers up, and you send all 4 of them deep. You got to read the safeties. If the safety covers the inside man, you throw it to the outside man. If he covers the outside man, you throw it to the inside man. Little miscommunication.
2nd down and 10. They go back to Keith, and Keith has stood up at the line of scrimmage. And Keith with nowhere to go up the middle. It's 3rd down.
Colt defense jamming up the middle. Good play by the linebacker, stepping up.
So Caden Riddle there in the middle of all that. 3rd and 8. Wink drops back to throw. He's got some time. He'll swing it out, and he'll get the ball to Keith. Keith breaks a tackle, gets up to the 47, still a couple of yards shy of a 4th or 1st down. They're going to have to go for it here, I would think.
It's a tough call. You got to make something happen, though.
They're going to spot the ball just over the 48-yard line. We take a look at the passing leaders in North Central Ohio. Brady Wink coming into tonight 3rd on that list. But I tell you what, they're going to need some work out of him to come from behind if they're going to pull this one out here tonight at the Colt Corral. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 2.
Probably call timeout. There's 2 theories here. One, you give the ball to your best back and you run on your best lineman. You put the pressure on your offense that's out there. And then the other theory is, let's try and outfox Clear Fork. Let's run a reverse. Let's run a counter. One, you're putting the pressure on the football players on the field. The other one, it's a coach's decision. What call do you make?
Well, those are the conventional ways of doing it. The way that Demetrius Ross has been calling plays tonight, I would not be surprised to see them go downfield. I mean, they have not shown any aversion whatsoever to going for the long ball. To me, on 4th and 2, I would play it the way that you did, and I would probably try a reverse. I would try something like that. They've seen one
Yeah.
I don't think they've run a jet sweep tonight at all.
I think you give it to your best back at the best, run to your best lineman. Number 3 is going to get it.
Well, we're going to find out here. And they're going to swing it out
there he
to
goes.
Keith. So basically a long handoff. He breaks one tackle, gets the first down, breaks a second one. He's still on his feet. And there he goes. You were half right. They gave him the ball, but they gave it to him in space, and breaking that first tackle was huge.
56-yard pass play. Not too shabby.
Grove had a chance to get him for a loss, and then he does a nice tightrope act down the far sideline, and now they have a golden opportunity here with a 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
You give a good athlete a little bit of space, give him the ball, good things will happen for you.
They
Why
swing
not
it
do
out
it
again. Now they do it to the other side, but this time the Colts are waiting for it, and that time Grove makes a solid tackle at the 20. It was the exact same play, just to the other side.
Good focus on the defense. You get burned on a play, you better be ready for it again.
Both teams with 2 timeouts as we approach the 7.5-minute mark.
And as you said earlier, Brian, look for them to throw the ball deep. This team loves to throw it deep.
Wink. Caught in stride. That's Fags. Breaks a tackle, still on his feet. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Logan Anderson over there helping out defensively, but Hayden Fags did not want to go down.
Good athlete catching the ball in space. There's nobody around. See what he gets after he catches the ball. And you're right, he doesn't want to go down.
And I liked Wink's decision. He just took what the defense gave him, and it resulted in a 3rd down and 7 at the 9. Quarterback draw. Wink's going to try it. He runs out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Now you're down by 11. Do you go for the field goal here and get the sure points, or do you go for the end zone?
You go for the end zone. You know, touchdowns are tough to come by tonight. This is the closest you could get right now. You still got a chance for a 1st down. Go for it.
It's 4th down and 3. And the offense stays on the field. They will go for it again on 4th down.
Somewhere in this lineup, number 3's got to touch the ball. Somewhere in this play.
Wink flushed out of the pocket, looks into the end zone, fires. It's
knocked down.
Knocked down, and they come away with no points with 6.5 minutes to go.
Good defensive stance. What a good defensive stance by the Colts. But your hats off to Marion. They went the length of the field. If their defense can go 1, 2, 3 here, they're still in this ball game. And what Clear Fork needs to do right now, 6:33 on the clock. They need to control the ball, work that clock down.
Now, what we have seen tonight is both teams have struggled with the quarterback-center exchange.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, especially when you're backed up to your own end zone.
Another high snap,
and they go up and get it. But that disrupts the timing of the play, and there's nowhere for Schlosser to go.
They're going to give him -1 yard on that.
The clock continues to move, each team with 2 timeouts. I still think Harding should have gotten points on that drive. They should have gotten the field goal and made it an 8-point ball game.
Yeah. It's anybody's call.
2nd and 11.
Flag on the play.
Down at the 11-yard line, but let's see what the penalty marker is.
Procedure, Clear Fork.
Grove with the carry.
It's only their 2nd penalty tonight.
5 minutes, 46 seconds to go. And the President's trying to snap a 4-game losing streak in MOAC play. And the Colts trying to impeach the Presidents.
They march off the 5-yard penalty.
You're going to ignore that, aren't you? The impeach the President's comment?
I liked it, though. I thought it was pretty good. Right now, if things get worse, I can see Coach Carroll taking the safety. Just take the safety. Give him the 2 points.
It is now 2nd down and 13 as they're backed up to the 2. Well, they don't take the safety, and they don't really get much beyond the line of scrimmage as Malachi Robinson comes up to make the play. And it'll be 3rd down and 13. Broke a tackle from Jacob Arndt. There's a good look at the Colts as they're looking for win number 7.
And this could be a big one.
And a showdown next week against Shelby. I don't know how Shelby is doing tonight. High snap again. Ball's on the ground. It's tipped right back to Skoog. And he's able to make yardage up to the 6-yard line. You're living good when you're getting bounces like that. This had disaster written all over it. The high snap,
there's one.
Off the helmet, right back to Skoog. He's like, fine, I'll take it up to the 6. So it's 4th down.
And this is where I take the safety. You're going to punt the ball, and they're going to get it at the 40, possibly the 30. You run out the back of the end zone. You're going to give them 2 points. It's now 21-12. You come up and punt from the 35-yard line.
Blauser standing on the R. He gets the kick off. Caden Fags at the 35, and he's not going to get much beyond that. As he was wrapped up by Eli Fenton. So the President's down again, or still, I guess I should say, by 11 with 4 minutes to go.
If you have a quick strike play,
I don't think the Presidents have that in their playbook.
Yeah. Look for them to go 3 times deep, maybe 4 times deep. They got to create points. You throw the ball, the clock doesn't move too much.
Or, as they have shown the ability to do, you get the ball to number 3 in space.
Yeah, just let him run wild. But the clock is against you. You need 2 scores in 4 minutes. And Clear Fork's going to get the ball one of those times.
Going for it all, right side, and it's going to be a touchdown as it fell into the arms of Wesley Stokes. 35 yards on the play. One play, 35 yards on the drive. And there's an injured player in the end zone. Wow. Stokes again between 2 defenders, and he lays it in there perfectly.
And what'd we say? Unreal. What a ball game. All I can say is wow.
Stokes with touchdown reception number 2 on the night.
Now, you're down 5.
Now you got to go for 2.
You go for 2. You bring yourself within a field goal of tie-in. You've got to kick an onside kick to try and recover it. What's missing? What have we left out of this ball game, Brian?
Well, the injured Colt is walking off the field.
The only play I don't understand was the safety call in the end zone. I still don't understand what happened there. One official put his hands up as a safety. The next thing we know, it was waved off. The coach from Marion got upset, started yelling at the official. 10-yard penalty. Let's Clear Fork out of the box.
There was the touchdown pass to Wesley Stokes. And now the Presidents will go for 2 and try to make this a 3-point ball game with 3:52 to go.
On the extra point, as an offensive team, you can tell the officials where you want the ball. Middle of the field, right hash or left half. Marion puts it on the left hash. Look for them to sprint out to the right.
And that's what they do. Right corner of the end zone. It's incomplete. It was too high for Stokes.
Somebody didn't block the defensive end.
So it's a 5-point ball game.
And here comes the onside.
The Presidents with a last gasp here with 3:52 to go. They get the touchdown. Now, had they done what I said and gotten the field goal, they could have tied the ball game.
Yep, and you are correct. But that one play, that touchdown, that drive, 8 seconds. Took 8 seconds on the clock for them to score.
So Jordan Hensley is the kicker for Marion Harding, and he is the man of the hour right now, because he can give them an opportunity to recover an onside kick.
The freshman.
Still anybody's ball game right now.
Everybody's looking for the onside kick. They're waiting for the officials. Here it comes. There it is. A big bounce.
Well, it didn't go 10 yards, and it was actually recovered by one of the Colts at the 48. So that's where Clear Fork will take over with 3:52 to go. Each team with 2 timeouts. Shelby has pretty much defeated River Valley tonight, so they're going to be undefeated in the MOAC heading into next week. So the Colts trying to hang on here with a 5-point lead and set up a showdown for the MOAC championship next week at Skiles Field in Shelby.
And the Colts basically need 2 first downs to run this clock out.
Look for the Colts here to just run the ball and try to eat some clock and get a couple first downs.
There he
and
goes.
There's too much of a hole there on the near side as Schlosser is then forced out of bounds. Making the play defensively was Cameron Ross. The play was blown dead before he went out of bounds, so the clock continues to move. There you see Ross stand him up. It's going to be 2nd and short as he picked up almost 10 yards on that play. It
was a first down.
Yeah, now they finally move the chains.
And right now, watch the play clock in the end zones. It's at 10. They're going to eat every second off that clock they can.
Again, they're on the ground and stumbling to the 35, a gain of just a couple. That was Schlosser again. And he was the initial contact by Jacob Arndt. Now they want to protect the ball.
And that long center snap, anything can happen with that.
Colts clinging to a 5-point lead.
They're just letting the clock run down. He'll probably snap it with about 4 ticks on it. If they stop him here, they'll take a timeout. Fumble! And there's that snap we were talking about.
Well, I think it's going to be offside.
Yeah, it looked like Harding's getting a little anxious, came across the line of scrimmage. Or a procedure play.
That's going to be procedure, I think, against Clear Fork.
Yep. 3rd penalty of the night for them. 25 yards. And that stops the clock. That hurts. And that bad snap. Oh. My heart's just a-shaking.
2nd and 14.
And look for Marion to bring everybody. They'll go man-to-man on the receivers, and they're going to bring everybody through the line.
Again to this near side. And not much going past the 40 as Brennan Beecham comes up to
timeout. Marion.
So it's third down and about 12. And if Harding can hold here, they'll use their final timeout and get the ball back with about a minute and a half to go. And as we've seen with this,
we're in the ball game, Brian.
We may have the ball game of the area, as Clear Fork at one point in the second quarter with about 2 minutes to go was down 10-0. And Marion Harding really had control of the ball game, both offensively and defensively. And then Harding went for it on 4th and short on their own end of the field and could not convert, and that opened the floodgates for the momentum to shift.
And
to
boy, did
Fork.
it shift. It not only shifted, the field went downhill.
Clear Fork scored a touchdown on the extra point. It was a fake, and they went for 2, so they went into the locker room only down 10-8. Then they had the ball to start the third quarter. Then they were able to take the lead. What a ball game here in the Valley.
Most exciting game I've had in, I think, 2 or 3 years broadcasting.
And it's not over yet.
It's not. It's this is the big play. They get a first down, it's over. If they don't.
Big third down and 12 play for both sides. It's Schlosser again.
Oh!
He cuts back. Still on his feet as he gets closer to the 30, and he's going to be stopped short.
We have a flag on the play.
That stops the clock with 1:53 to go. And I think this is going to be against Clear Fork. It's a hold against Clear Fork. We can't really see it on the replay.
The flag comes in from the far sideline.
So that's a big penalty marched off against the Colts. It makes it third down and 14. Now, I thought that the Presidents had spent a timeout. It says on the scoreboard they still have 2. Skoog with the play fake. Rolls to his right, and it's going to be incomplete, and that stops the clock with 1:37 to go.
And here we go.
So the Presidents are going to get the ball back with a minute and a half to go.
Well, we don't really know. Oh, he's going to punt.
Well, I think on this you have to play field position here.
Yeah, I
because
thought
if you give them the ball at the 40.
I thought Marion was supposed to.
Well, that's true.
Earlier.
Dave Carroll, though, and this is no offense to Demetrius Ross, Dave Carroll has been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
And you don't get 220 wins by accident.
Now, Marion, if you don't cover this punt, they have speed and ability to score on a punt return. And as you mentioned earlier, we haven't seen a punt return in a long time.
Fags is standing at the 10. And Blauser will kick it from about the 46.
He's knees down. The play's over.
Good eyes, Coach. The official saw it, too. It's Marion Harding ball at the 47.
As soon as he had the ball in his hand and he puts his knee down, the play is dead.
Watch this on the replay. As soon as he takes the ball, he has to go low to get it. Another low snap.
Down. Good video work by our team. Adam, great play. There it is.
The official right on top of it, and the Presidents with a chance with 1:32 to go. Now, you don't need it all at once, right?
True, you don't. Now, there's only one player in football that can have a knee down when he gets the ball, and not have a whistle blown on him. You know who that is?
No.
The holder on the extra point.
Oh.
He can actually get the ball with the knee down and run with it. He can run with it.
1st and 10 for the Presidents. From the 47. Wink. Over the middle. He's got a receiver. It's incomplete. It's in and out of the hands of Matthew Thomas, but it was knocked away.
Wow.
Thomas had steps.
That's called an all-go route. You just send 4 receivers deep, 2 men in the middle. You throw the ball as deep as you can and hope they run under it. And they had him. There it is.
What a play by Chase McCune.
What a game.
2nd and 10 from the 47.
The only thing I close my eyes with a bad snap.
Wink looks right side, caught at the 40. And Stokes pulls a couple tacklers inside the 40 to about the 37. Clock still moving, 1:11 to go, plenty of time. Can the Colts defense come up big here on 3rd and short? Wink's going to go for the first down, and he gets it up to the 32-yard line. And they will stop the clock as they move the chains with 57 seconds to go. That was a smart call by Ross to just get the first down and get the fresh set of downs.
Yeah, now he's got 4 plays to go to the end zone with 54, should be 54.
Timeout taken by Marion Harding. What a ball game we are seeing here in Week 9. We saw a lot of momentum shifts, and now it's almost like it's shifting back to Marion Harding.
Yeah, they got the mojo back.
They are in a position here to play spoiler for Shelby. It slipped and said Shelby.
Yep.
But for Clear Fork, Shelby has taken care of business tonight against River Valley. And if Clear Fork can hold on down or up by 5, they would head to Shelby next week for the MOAC championship. But the Presidents of Marion Harding are making this interesting with 52 seconds to go. Down by 5, 1st and 10 at the 33.
This is where your high-paid defensive coordinator earns his money. And then your secondary coach, keep them deep. Let them catch the ball in front of you.
Let's see what the Presidents do. They have 1 timeout remaining. Clear Fork has 2. But obviously Clear Fork is not going to do anything to try to stop the clock.
Well, the nice thing with having 1 timeout, you can still throw down the middle of the field.
And you can still run.
You can still run the ball. Coach is over there talking to the officials, trying to plead his part of the game, whatever it is.
I'm not sure what the discussion is now. Clear Fork at 6-2, Harding at 5-3.
And this is a game to remember.
1st and 10 from the Clear Fork 33-yard line. The Presidents with the ball. And I wish I had a microphone in there because I don't have any idea what they're talking about.
And Marion Harding is 32 yards away from winning this ball game. 32 yards.
Dave Carroll is on the near sideline screaming into the officials.
He wants to get the game going. Let's get the game going.
I'm really not sure what they're talking about.
Maybe the Marion Harding coach was questioning the number of timeouts. Now, the officials have cards, and they always mark on their cards when the timeouts were called, and the officials going over now, talking to the coach, telling them, this is what we know, boom. That's why the officials mark everything down on a card, so they can all get in a little huddle and figure it out.
Well, now we are back to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Wink looks far side.
Flag!
Batted away, and a flag is down, and they're going to call pass interference. Aiden Perry over there defensively, and the Presidents are going to get a break.
And the nice thing in high school is only a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, automatic first down. If this was the NFL and that interference
It'd be
happened
first
there,
and goal.
first and goal. But because this is high school, the ball comes back to the 10-yard line. Now, a good defensive coach will tell his team, hey, if we're getting beat and they're going to get a touchdown, interfere with them. It's only a 10-yard penalty. So they were getting beat. You knock the kid out of bounds. He can't get the ball. It's only a 10-yard penalty.
But it moves the ball 10 yards closer, 45 seconds to go. And we've already seen the arm of Brady Wink.
Oh,
and we have already seen the magic of Wesley Stokes.
Look for a Hail Mary. Be underneath the goalpost. I used to tell my quarterback, you're in trouble, throw to the goalpost.
Wink drops back to throw.
Scrambles.
Nice coverage by the Colts downfield. Wink into the 5, and he runs out of bounds.
First down.
It's going to be first and goal for the Presidents with 36 seconds to go. Brady Wink had nowhere to go, so he runs and then gets out of bounds. So they still have the timeout.
Great quarterback move. Now your running game's still in effect. You got one play to run the ball.
First and goal from the 6. And the Presidents looking for their biggest win under Demetrius Ross in his first season as the head coach.
Roll out to the wide side of the field.
He drops back. He swings it out. It's caught by Keith. He gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Trinity Keith from 6 yards out. And the lead goes back to the Presidents. So Brady Wink throws the potential game-winning touchdown pass with 30 seconds to go. And you could hear a pin drop on this side of the stadium. Extra point is up. This one is good off the leg of Jordan Hensley.
Wow,
and
what
the Colts
a ball
down
game.
by 2 with 30 seconds to go.
MVP. What a ball game. And Brian, it's not over yet.
Trinity Keith just scored the potential game-winning touchdown pass. Trinity Keith. And now it's going to be up to the special teams. And let's see what magic Clear Fork might have with 30 seconds to go. Hensley is going to try to kick this as deep as he can. What a ball game we have seen here in Week 9.
I am in amazement, total amazement.
It looked like the Presidents were buried.
And I don't know how many times I've said wow tonight because it's just wow.
We need a special graphic, the wow graphic.
Wow.
The kickoff is deep. And from the 9-yard line. And the Colts are going to get it 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line off the return by Casey Swank with 25 seconds to go.
And the Colts still have 2 timeouts. They still have 2 timeouts. They have the ability to get down the field.
Now remember,
it's only
a 2-point game. They only need a field goal.
They need a field goal.
So could this come down to a field goal for the Colts? Skoog steps up, and he's going to run it. He's got some room outside and out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Clock down to 17 seconds. Remember, Windsor 1 for 1 in field goals on the season. It was a 35-yarder. 17 seconds to go. Clear Fork still with 2 timeouts. Skoog over the middle. It's batted down. Jacob Ard went up and batted it down.
And he was open.
13 seconds to go.
A little bit more air under the ball. The receiver was open. There he is. Great defensive play by Marion.
2nd down and 10 from the 44.
Everybody's on their feet.
Skoog flushed out of the pocket, gets away from Turner, and runs out of bounds at about the 44-yard line with 5 seconds to go. Well, you're either going to have some kind of razzle-dazzle play or a Hail Mary to the end zone.
Hook and ladder. You can't throw a 4-second pass and get down there and get set up for a field goal. You got to go do something to get to the end zone.
This is it for the Colts. If they lose tonight, they have to beat Shelby next week to share the MOAC championship.
Timeout, Marion.
What a finish to this ball game.
Wow.
The rain came at halftime, and it looked like it washed the President's hopes away. But you got to give them credit. They battled back, and we talked about at the beginning of the show, we talked about their big play capability, and that's what got them back into this game.
And it was, and we knew it. We knew it coming in. They've scored 57 points in their 2 games ago. They scored 56 points. They are a high-scoring offense. It's very difficult to control a team like that because they'll punt, and then one of these times they're going to connect. And tonight they had 2 big connections for touchdowns, and that really is the big plays that hurt.
Well, the first one was the 35-yarder to Stokes. That was the one play in the drive after they fell behind after the touchdown pass to Jackson. And then Trinity, Keith catches the game winner, potentially the game winner.
And you can see right now, Marion's not letting anybody get behind them. It's going to be
And the ball hits the ground, and it's all over. What a ball game as Marion Harding defeats Clear Fork 23-21. We'll be back with the Black Dog Tavern postgame show right after this.
Your MVP?
Lender, Craftsman, Dog Dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Welcome to the Black Dog Tavern post-game show. I am Brian Harder, and we're joined by Trinity Keith, our Mechanics Bank player of the game. 18 carries, 96 yards, 4 receptions for 75 yards, the biggest yards, the 6-down touchdown that won it for you guys at the end. This was a game of really shifting momentum. It looked like in the first half you guys were in control, and then you guys went for it on 4th down there with about 2 minutes to go before half, up 10-0. What was the mindset as you guys prepared to go for that on 4th down?
We just knew that we didn't have that much time left, so we had to keep pushing the ball. We were trying to get downfield as quick as possible. You know, the swings I was hitting, somebody was picking up on it. So the touchdown play, I ran a kind of like an arrow because I knew he was used to the swing, and I just got him on the arrow and put it in.
So now you guys get into the second half, and momentum shifted to Clear Fork, and it looked like they kind of took control of the game. But we were talking throughout the entire broadcast, you guys just have this big play capability, and it just looked like you were never really out of it.
Yeah, we just practiced that, you know.
Talk about Coach Ross and the mindset that he gives to you guys coming in here in his first season.
When we he's a good coach, man. He tells us never give up. He knew that we were gonna come through with this. He was telling us, you know, our alignment, assignment, technique. He was making sure we were straight.
When you guys went in at halftime, what was the conversation like? You guys were up 10-0, then all of a sudden it's 10-8. What was the mood in the locker room at the half?
We went in at halftime, but we didn't want to think we were winning, you know. We just didn't want to get too cocky, basically. So we just played it like it was a tie game. Came out at halftime like it was a tie. Just played.
Now, the play that put you guys ahead, the 6-yard touchdown pass, was that the intent? Was it to go to you, or was the play designed to go somewhere else?
Yeah, it was planned to go to me.
You guys have really turned your season around. You had 2 wins last year, and now you've got 6 wins, and it looks like you guys have really kind of set the foundation. What has the culture been like for you guys this season?
You know, it's getting better, man, because coming from the years before, we didn't do too good. Now we're starting to switch it around. It's fans showing love, you know.
Well, you guys keep winning games like this, and you're going to see a lot more of that love.
Yeah.
Congratulations on a nice win, and good luck next week as you guys also head toward the playoffs. Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's our player of the game, Trinity Keith, 171 yards of total offense, and Marion Harding comes up with a big win against Clear Fork. We'll be back to take a look at the post-game numbers right after this. You're watching high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Lender, Craftsman, Dog Dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Lender.
Welcome back to the Black Dog Tavern post-game show. I am Brian Harder along with the coach, Bruce Wyrick, and you just heard from Trinity Keith, and kind of a humble-sounding man for someone who just scored the game-winning touchdown. And you can sense that there's just a different vibe with that team now that they're under Demetrius Ross. And when you win games like that, that builds confidence in what you do going forward.
Oh, it really does. And it makes Saturday morning video a whole lot nicer. And, we said it at the beginning of the game. Big plays. They are going to make big plays. They're built on that type of offense, and we saw what they did tonight. They made the big plays.
Now, as we take a look at the final numbers, and if you're Clear Fork, You see, you gave up 375 total yards, but really in the second half, you were in control of this game. But we saw a little bit of everything. We saw the inability to take care of the football. We saw some failures and some wins on fourth down. But at the end of the day, Marion Harding just came up with the big plays when they had to.
You take a look at Marion Harding had 115 yards in penalties. I still don't understand what the safety call was in the end zone down here when Marion thought they had it. The coach starts yelling, and, the thing kind of collapsed, and they end up Clear Fork has the ball 10 yards out of the end zone. It was a bizarre game, but I'll tell you what, Brian, this is why we broadcast games. What a ball game.
And most games, when Clear Fork rushes for 212 yards, they're going to win those games.
They had a great rushing attack. They really did. And you made a good point of this. When Clear Fork gets behind, sometimes they have a tough time catching up. They got behind, it was late in the ball game, but wow, what a game.
And you always talk about the chess match. And I think at the end of the first half, and I love the confidence and almost the cockiness of a Demetrius Ross. Yeah. We're going to go for it. We're going to establish things here. But sometimes you have to play those smart. And I think at the end of the first half, Dave Carroll showed why he has been as successful as he has, and he got Clear Fork back into this game.
I thought they were out of it. I thought it was over. I thought Marion was a team that was going to roll all over them. But when they went for it on fourth down and the Colts stepped up and stuffed them, and then Coach Carroll comes back and scores, and then they go for two. Which floored me. Maybe that's why I've lost to them 10 years in a row when I was at Ontario. But the Clear Fork mystique was here. They gave Harding everything they could.
Well, now it doesn't get any easier for Clear Fork because now they go to Shelby, and instead of being able to win the MOAC outright, they can share the title, but they have to go into a tough environment, and they have to beat Shelby.
But Shelby is beatable. Bellevue did it to them, and they got destroyed by
West
Holmes. How do you do it? I don't really know. I do know you got to get their quarterback out of his rhythm. If you let him sit back there, it's kind of like a Tom Brady. He'll pick you apart all day long, and you got to get him off this post. Can Clear Fork step up to it? Coach Carroll is a good enough coach. He can rally his troops.
With the win, Marion Harding is now 6-3 on the season, 3-2 in the MOAC, and Clear Fork drops to 6-3. They are 4-1 in conference play. The final score in a thriller in the Valley: Marion Harding 23 and Clear Fork 21. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Adam Thompson, and the fine camera work courtesy of Nick Jacobs. Most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score: Marion Harding 23 and Clear Fork 21. You've been watching high school football live and free on the OH Report, powered by BS Media Productions, the future of local sports. For Bruce Wyrick, I'm Brian Harder. So long from Clear Fork.